To make a design for a workout vest, ladies vest, and it's for someone who loves walking, particularly loves walking with their dog. So I want to do this in Infusible Ink. This is my first attempt, so I think I will start by finding an image I like. So I'll search in shoes, and I know exactly what I have in mind. That. Great. And some text. The font I'm going to use is called DIN. I just search for that. Next, stencil heavy. And I like this because I think it's going to sit well with this design. And what I want to do is, just bring that back across, is put the words across the middle. So to do that, I need to cut a channel across there. And the simplest way to do that is using shapes. Unlock that and position it over the words, making sure it's wide enough to get particularly these letters in the middle a little wider, like that. What I'll do is move my wording out of the way. Oops. Move that back. Select both of those and slice. And I can remove the parts I've cut away, and I've got the perfect positioning for my wording. Select them both, centre them, just move that down a fraction. Now, if you wanted to tidy this up a little bit, the simplest way again is to use shapes, and I'll use this again. Unlock and just reduce that down, and what I'll do is just put it there, select them, slice again, and then delete the bits I don't want. Just move that marginally up. Now I can move this a little this way, even though it's not central according to and I think I'll just alter the spacing of the letters a tiny bit. Oops. Line again. And I'm happy with that positioning. Yep. What I'll do to make sure that they stay together is attach them. And what I'd like is something in here to fill this gap. Pull, prints. Perfect. Bring that in and resize it. And I want it to go in there. And just play around with this until you're happy with where it sits and how it looks. Took a little bit of adjustment, but I quite like that. Yeah. I'm going to weld all that, because I want that to come off as one design. All that's left now is to make sure that I get it to the right size to go onto my vest. I've set my design to mirror within Cricut Design Space, and you put your infusible ink sheet, vinyl sheet, with the transfer sheet side down, so the shiny side down and the pattern up, and then just get that into your Cricut. I do tend to change from the default setting for the cut to more, just because that seems to work better for me. And while that's cutting, check the Cricut Heat Guide for the specific garment or blank or whatever it is that you're using for your transfer. I just went online and found some what are called sublimation blanks, which means that they're 100% polyester and they're good for taking infusible ink. The best colour to use, definitely white. If you use colours like, darker colours, I've tried them and I've watched other people on YouTube such as Jennifer Maker trying them, and it just doesn't seem to work. So I'll now go ahead and weed my design. It's much more of a paper texture, the infusible ink sheet, so you don't tend to need any weeding tools, so it's quite easy to weed, and you can just pick out the pieces just by folding it a little, and they just come out with your fingernail, and it's really quite easy to use, quite simple. My design did have some tiny little pieces to it. The inner part of the paws on the shoe, where I'd put the little paw prints, they wanted to come away when I was picking the little inner bits off, so I did use the weeding tool for that, but it is only those tiny pieces that need a little bit of coaxing. So prepare your garment with a linked roller, and then Design Space, when you're using infusible ink, tells you exactly the order in which to do everything. So it suggests that inside the garment, to prevent bleeding of the ink, that you put either some butcher paper or some cardstock, some nice thick cardstock. I've used some thick cardstock, and I'm just preheating the t-shirt and the vest. And now I can place my design. So take as much time as you need over this bit, because you've only got one chance Once this is on there, it's on there permanently and you're not going to be able to move it about later. So the order is a heat mat, the garment, some cardstock or butcher paper inside, your design face down with your carrier sheet uppermost, some butcher paper, and then your heat. So just leave that until you can peel off the backing, the transfer tape, and you've got your design. And the colours are really nice and vibrant. Again, they don't show very well on here. I haven't bought too many infusible ink sheets just yet because I want to see how much use I get out of them, and vinyl does have a shelf life. So I'm quite pleased with those results, but you will see that I made a mistake. And I'm leaving it in, as I always do on my videos, just so you learn from my mistake. I didn't take the middle out of the G, the first G, and I'm going walking when I was doing the weeding. I missed it. But I'm still pretty pleased with the results.